Hello everybody, this is Melinda again, and you do part two because there was just a few left, and then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get it wet. Let's see if we can see any of this, man, because this one's got a lot of sparkles. So we'll see if this one has, we can see, ooh, there's a little bit you can see, but they're all throughout it. Let's see what happens when I get it wet. Hope everybody's doing good. This is really wet. You may not be able to see much at all now. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Nice. Very nice. Roar. So we're just looking to see if we see anything, or if we just see a rock, a stone, whatever we could see. Okay. You know, for the ones that's new to the channel, let me draw my hands up a little bit. Okay. Say that you're looking at a piece of, you know, just what looks like a piece of rock or a piece of chert or whatever you see out of it. What I done was I drew out what I seen. So that it would be easier to see things. And then what I did was I flipped it over, flipped the rock over, and I did the same thing. I drew out what I seen. And then on the top, I had all these little things on it like that. And then when you turn the rock a little bit, it kind of resembled a snake. See the head? Is it the same way? Okay. So doing the same thing might be easier to see when it's wet. But it's all drawn out. So that way things are easier to see. Okay? So for anybody that's new to the channel, that's what I did. We're looking for, you know, faces, or maybe we just see a stone, a rock, or maybe we see eye, nose, mouth, the third eye, or we could see that there's, just by shifting it just a little bit, kind of looks like a woman. Then over here kind of looks like a bear or something else. Because all I gotta do is move the paper just a little bit. I mean, move the rock just a little bit. And then other things come up. So there's, see, I just drew it out. That's all I did. So anybody having problems figuring out what's on their rock, or their stone, or their chert, maybe you could try that. Okay, let's get back to this. See what we see. Oh, wow. Look at that. Again, I'll try not to say what I see. And if you could put it in the comments what you see, even if it's just a rock. Or if you see an owl, or a wolf, or a face, whatever you see. A pig, which it would have been a boar, or something like that, maybe. Yeah. Whoa. I'll have to watch it in slow-mo later or something. But these are the rocks when Us Three Sisters was out. It's going to be part 2. When we were all out having a little adventure with the kids and went to different places and I won't spend too much time on them, or I'll try not to. It's all biology, guys. Woo! Inside these holes, there's like little creatures. It almost looks like something coming out of his nose. And some of the people have on headdresses. And sometimes you just need a little bit of shade on it, or different lighting. And then you're able to see different things. Get a light up inside that, so that way we could see what it is. Whoa, look at there. Man, I got a lot of critters, y'all. Whoever's new that don't know that yet. Or even if you're even watching up until now. It's all good. We will see when we're supposed to. We'll see when we're supposed to. And dripping water. No worries. Ooh. Hello. Okay. Wow. You know, I seen a video whenever, and they showed this picture. I didn't know what the video was about, but it had this creature. It was red and I think maybe an orangish color. I think it was red though. Where it was something inside of us, and they use a microscope to see it. And but when they put a microscope on whatever part of our insides, it showed that this it would look like a little creature, this little thing. Who knows what it was? Maybe a part of bacteria, maybe a part of something, but those things grow inside of us and they multiply, and some things are there to help us and take away all the bad bacteria that we ingest, and some things are just there for whatever reason. And who knows? Let me get some of that hair off me, if I can. But who knows why they're there? But what I was thinking, there's a big... One of Michelle's girls gave me this one to keep. This one, no, Michelle gave me this one. And the girls gave me the other one that's in there. Then these are the last two. But, what happens to those things that look like, they have eyes or things growing out of their head or mouths, or what happens to them? When we either wash them off, cough them out, or whatever, if we die, what happens to those things that's inside of us? Well, if they can't get any, nutrition, wherever they're getting their nutrition, I would imagine that they would exit the body and then find another host. But remember the big flood everybody talks about? Some people talk about? Well, things happen to the people. Things happened to the people when the big flood came. And what happened to the little things that was inside of them? They were used to no air because they were inside the body. And they were giants. They were giants. Back in the Bible days, it talks about giants. And the old maps that they have talks about the different things. Wonder what kind of things grew inside the giants. And when the flood came, and they went out of the giants and into the waters, maybe it's things that look like what's inside of our bodies, but we're a lot smaller. And they were smaller people like us back in those days too. So, I mean, they were all buried in the mud after the water drained out. And the land was all the countries, when you put them together, because when you look at them, and even the old maps show it, you know. I remember my son Ricky, and he was in like maybe 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, no higher than that, because he was in that school. I wanted him to, we had an old football, remember the old football games that vibrated and the men jumped around and they just try to score, you know, or block each other because it was moving. You know what I mean? I wanted him to, if he wanted to, he chose not to. He wanted to do something else, which was cool. It was no worries. It was just an option. But it was a big grade, and all the kids did good. And but anyway, if you were to take like the wood pieces of the puzzle, how they have, like for smaller children, they have this puzzle that has all of the countries it's on the globe. But if you put them together, it's just like a puzzle. There's some that don't match exactly, more likely because it's in the water, you know, when it all separated. And maybe he thought that was a Bologna story, you know, and didn't want to do it. But I remember thinking that way for a long time. And some of the older maps show all the land together. It was all together. But I believe after the big flood and things was happening and the mud was settling, and I believe that it was broke apart. Maybe there was an earthquake or something. Well, I never even thought about that. Something broke them apart, you know. And whatever it was, I know it was by, in my beliefs, Great Spirit that had this happen for whatever reasons he had. And but I believe that they were all shifted. And that's why I think we find all this stuff in different parts of the world, and a lot of it the same. The very same. Yes, I need a haircut. I need to go do it. I almost did it today, but I chose not to. I did something else instead. But let's see who's watching until now. Can you mention it on a comment? Just to see. I'm just curious. And a thumbs up, guys. And if you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, that'd be much appreciated too. But yeah, they were all together. In the old maps, and I remember seeing that in school when I was in school. You know, back in the way back days. And but guess how old I am? I know I've said it before. Does anybody remember? But anyway, I'm just trying to see, you know, feeling it out. But I get so many visions and pictures in my head of different things. And I have about all my life. And a lot of the things is coming about. But anyway, in history or geography or whatever it was, I'm sure it was geography, back when they had geography. I don't even think the kids have it anymore. They collide it with history. His story. That's a whole nother video. But, in the old maps they had things coming out of the water, grabbing ships. And then part of the map had giants, and they showed big people and little people beside them so they would know. But they had all these things, which was the old maps. And then they showed the New World maps. But they don't teach that anymore in school, I don't think. And maybe it was only for a short time, I don't know. Because you don't hear very many people talking about it. But, there's just a lot of things going on in life that has been covered up. Just covered up. And who's telling us about rocks and what they are and what they were, and not many people, not many people's telling us who this stuff is and what this stuff is and where it all came from. I mean, I'm sure a bunch of us have thousands, look at this one, thousands of different rocks that shows us pictures. And some of the pictures, I'll put that down. But some of the pictures, because there's so many of the same thing all around. But when you look at the mountains, and the things that's shifting into the ground, the bodies of the creatures that's turned into mud or sand or whatever, depends on where it's from. And sometimes you could just see like a hand sticking out, and people walks on it thinking that, it's like a pier. But, you see heads, or you see the whole bodies even. There's just so many things, and all those things are called mud fossils. And that was from after the flood. And people could look it up easily just by typing it in. But these little pictures that we see in the rocks, all this stuff are big and huge. These are huge pictures that you could see inside of mountains. And people, what they done was they just made smaller versions of them because they've seen them before. So how many times have we been reset? How many times? His story says that we're the greatest. But there's so many things under the ground. I seen a picture the other day where it was somebody's video where some of the mountain was coming down or whatever, and it showed a house. There was a house that had chairs inside up on, it's like 9,000 feet above, where you can't tell what it is from the bottom, but there's chairs still sitting on the porch, and you could see a creature that's right over it, laying over it. It's mud, dirt, a mountain, a hill. But you could see that house right on the side, 9,000 feet up. How did it get there? No. It went this way. things on top of it. Things are buried. And people are finding them. I love you guys. And it's going to stop at 25:31. And I'm going to keep talking